Hey guys, Joey. I thought I would finally give you this long overdue video of my water change station walkthrough. Been promising this one, but I haven't gotten around to doing it because I wanted to show you me actually doing a water change. So let's start inside with what feeds the entire system. So this is in my laundry room, not too far away from where those storage containers actually are. What you see here is I'm running, what is this, 7 stages, 8 stages if you count the membrane. What I started with was these first 4 containers on the left here, and then this one used to hold just DI resin. But I found myself going through the DI really fast, so what I did is I got the upgrade kit, the 3-stage DI saver. So you have cation, anion, and mixed bed resin right there. I also have another meter. Stop screaming at me. Stop screaming at me. Damn, that cat is distracting. So instead of just getting rid of this container, I just threw in another carbon block. So what you have here is sediment filter. I think that's 1 micron. And then you have 5 micron carbon block, and then 2 1 micron carbon blocks. And then you have, it goes into the membrane. Then it goes into, like I said, cation, anion, and mixed bed resin. So it's pretty simple. I get about, from the membrane, maybe 6 TDS coming out of it when it starts going into these chambers. And this feeds the red line, and that goes all the way through into the garage. Back in the garage here, following this all the way through, it goes up to here. That's a float switch, so there's an auto shut-off on the RODI system. So when it triggers that float switch, it will trigger the auto shut off as well, and I don't have to worry about it if I, want to leave the house or something. Container obviously holds 50 gallons, if you can read that. Right now I got about 20 in there because I filled up the saltwater container. So top obviously is going to hold your fresh water, and then there's going to be 2 different valves here. So this is my first valve that I use, and it just goes to this pipe. I put a bucket here, and that's what I use to fill up and carry the buckets for top-off water, and I'll just dump it in my top-off container. Then we have this one, which feeds into the saltwater container so I can fill it up. So now we can talk about this one. So on the saltwater container, it's relatively simple how it's set up. I decided against running the return back and kind of making it a loop. I just didn't feel like drilling another hole, so I just run it with a little J-bow power head in there. But let's talk about some of the valves and what these do. This one, it's not quite done, but I'm going to put another quick connect fitting there. If I ever needed to drain this all the way down, I could just run a hose out into the driveway and drain this completely. So that's what that one does. This one will actually make it so, water can come out into these pipes. And then we get to the pump. The pump is huge. It's a Blue Line. It is a Blue Line 100. It has a ton of power. I think the head height on it is like 39 feet or something crazy like that. So it pushes a ton of water, and perfect for what I need it for. And so what we have here is this valve feeding water. This valve right here is used to suck water in from the aquarium, so to pump it out. So what I would do is I would take this hose, this one right here. This goes into, I do all my changes out of the sump, but this isn't connected, so I could swap this out and put a longer one if I wanted to drain it right from the aquarium. So I would use the quick connect fitting here, and you can get those on Amazon, and I highly recommend it if you're going to do a station like this. I put that one into there. I run the other hose. There's another quick connect on this one, and I run that one into the driveway, and then I'll open up this valve and then open up this one, and it will start sucking in water from here. This is the input and that's the output, and then boom, you're draining water. You started your water change. Super easy. So once you're done, you disconnect the output here and you can close that off so you're not spraying water all over the place. Then all you got to do is disconnect the one you had running out into the driveway, the one in the tank. You're now going to pump water back in the tank, so you just replace that and then turn it on and you're ready to pump water back into the tank. Pretty simple. This little fixture here, ball valve on there too, just so I can adjust it. And then on the actual pump outlet itself, I got this little remote control. There's a remote little outlet, so I can stand by the tank and actually click it on and off. So that's really helpful as well. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is this canister I have right here. So this canister is a 1 micron sediment filter, and this really helps out. So this keeps the container clean, and it also keeps all these contaminants out of my water. So you don't realize that there's a lot of impurities in the salt. And I got this idea from bulk resupply, and it's great. I would never run a mixing station without this. This is, I don't know how many gallons. This is probably, I don't know, let's just say 500 gallons worth of crap that's built up in here, and it's ready to be changed. So I can start with that. I think I've kind of walked you through everything. So the gist of it, fill this up, and then I'll fill this guy up, and then I mix in my salt. I use the Red Sea Blue Bucket. I used to use Fritz, but I don't like it, so there's that. And then mix up the salt. I have a heater in there if I need the heater. This is my garage. It's Texas, so in the summer it gets pretty warm. So I'll have to deal with that as far as figuring out a way to cool it down or something before I put it in the tank. And then I'll let it mix for a little while so the sediment filter can pick up any crap. And then I'll go through and hook up all the hoses and do everything like that. So I'm ready for a water change on the 230. So I wanted to just show you guys the process in action. And like I said, let's start with changing out this sediment filter so I can get you a very drastic effect. Okay, here we go. Here is the comparison. So you have the old one versus the new one. That is disgusting, and that is stuff that I don't want in my water. So if you want that in your water, don't run a sediment filter on your freshly mixed salt water. That's your call. That's something I didn't do on the 120, so I'm just curious if it will make a difference in the long run. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I guess bottom line is it keeps the mixing container pretty clean. So there's that. Okay, so on the inside of the house, all you got to do is make sure you have all your stuff off. I put my Apex into feed mode, and it turns all the necessary stuff off for me. So, any heaters, controllers, skimmer, all that stuff. And then I'll let this drain into the sump to fill up as much water as possible. And while that's happening, I go and grab all my stuff outside and get that ready. I suppose if I was a better YouTuber, I would have had this already set up, and then I could have made this video like 20 times faster. But I guess I just like to talk. So I'm just going to open this up. We'll go ahead and turn it on. So you can see it moves a lot of water really fast, which is what you want. This process doesn't take me too long. Okay, we got it drained to our desired level there. Pump is turned off. So what I like to do now is when I take this off, I just take the time to wrap up that hose, get any extra water out of there, and then I'll go ahead and switch it. So I actually made a mistake when I initially started draining this water out. I actually turned on this valve and you don't do that. To drain the water, you just turn on these two. So I wasted like almost 15 gallons of water. So I'm hoping I have enough to complete it. But hey, I guess we're gonna find out. Back inside, we'll just I just want to hold this a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and turn it on. Oh, that's off. See, there's an on button and an off button. If you hit off, it won't work. It's a little violent when you first start it, so that's why I just like to hold it. Hoping that I have enough water. But yeah, let's find it. Okay guys, I think we're gonna make it. We have about 2 inches to go, and I got 20 gallons of water left still. So we definitely should make it. And we gotta let it get up pretty high because this drains a lot of water from that tank. This is really an undersized sump for this tank, in my opinion. Kind of cutting it close, and I don't have any check valves, and I probably should. So we shut it off, and then I immediately turn this valve so we stop any potential back siphon that happens. After I turn that off, I like to just come out here and shut everything else off as well. And then, as you can see, we started a little above 35, and we're about just a little under 15, so about a 20 gallon water change, so 10% in total. Alright, this is a really bad video. I don't even know where I just left off. But I was just talking while the camera is on pause for like, 30 seconds. Anyways, in summary, this is a really bad video. I thought this was going to be better. I turned all the crap off. I'm going to roll up the hose, put it back. I always like to keep a little bit of water in the container just in case, and to keep things mixed up. If you made it this far in the video, and you kept watching, you're extremely desperate, or you just don't enjoy quality YouTube videos, so you come here to get bad ones, amateur ones, if you will, or you just really enjoy water change stations, and you're a pretty weird person in general. So yeah, that's all I really had for you guys, and we'll have to look to maybe update this one in the future, make it a little bit better. But with that said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.